Listen, if you're over 40 years old and you're still broke, still living paycheck to paycheck, still wondering where all your money went at the end of every single month, then you need to stop everything you're doing right now and pay attention to what I'm about to tell you. Because what I'm going to share with you in the next few minutes could literally be the difference between spending the rest of your life struggling or finally breaking free from the financial prison you've been trapped in for far too long. I'm not here to sugarcoat things. I'm not here to make you feel comfortable. I'm here to give you the raw, unfiltered truth that nobody else has the guts to tell you. And if you can handle that truth, if you can look at yourself in the mirror and admit that something needs a change, then keep watching. Because by the end of this video, you're going to understand exactly why you're in the position you're in, and more importantly, you're going to know exactly what you need to do to get out of it. Before we dive deep into this, I want you to do something for me right now. Drop a comment below and tell me what city and country you're watching from. I want to know where my community is. Are you watching from New York, London, Mumbai, Tokyo, Sao Paulo? Let me know in the comments right now. And while you're down there, smash that subscribe button and hit the notification bell, because the content I create on this channel could literally change your financial future. And if this video resonates with you, if it gives you that kick in the pants you've been needing, hit that like button. It helps more people who need to hear this message find this video. Now let's get into it. You're over 40. Maybe you're 45. Maybe you're 52. Maybe you're pushing 60. And when you look at your bank account, there's a knot in your stomach. When you think about retirement, you feel panic instead of excitement. When you see other people your age talking about their investments, their passive income, their financial freedom, you feel like you missed the boat. Like everyone else got the memo about how to build wealth except you. And here's the thing. You're not alone. Millions of people in your exact situation are watching this video right now, feeling the exact same way. But here's what separates the people who stay stuck from the people who turn everything around. The people who change their lives are the ones who stop making excuses and start making moves. Today, right now, not tomorrow, not next week, not when things get better. Now, let me ask you something, and I want you to be brutally honest with yourself. How did you get here? How did 40+ years of life lead you to this moment where you're financially stressed, worried about the future, and feeling like you're running out of time? Was it bad luck? Was it the economy? Was it your job? Your family? The cost of living? I'm sure all those things played a role. But if we're being completely honest, and we have to be if we're going to fix this, the biggest reason you're broke at 40+ isn't external circumstances. It's the decisions you made, the habits you developed, the mindset you adopted, the financial education you never got, and the actions you never took. Now, I know that stings. I know you might be feeling defensive right now. But hear me out. I'm not saying you're a bad person. I'm not saying you didn't work hard. I'm saying that working hard alone doesn't create wealth. Being a good person doesn't create wealth. Having good intentions doesn't create wealth. Wealth is created through specific knowledge, specific habits, and specific actions. And if you don't have those three things dialed in, it doesn't matter how hard you work or how good your intentions are, you're going to stay broke. Think about it. You probably know someone who makes less money than you, but somehow has more saved. You probably know someone who started with nothing and now lives a completely different life. What's the difference between them and you? It's not intelligence. It's not luck. It's not even necessarily income. It's mindset. It's habits. It's financial literacy. And here's the beautiful thing. All of those things can be learned. All of those things can be changed. It doesn't matter that you're 40 or 50 or 60. It doesn't matter that you're starting from zero or even negative. What matters is that you start today. Let me tell you what's really happening here. The reason you're broke at 40+ is because you've been operating with a broke mindset. And a broke mindset creates broke results. It's that simple. Your mindset is like the operating system of a computer. If the operating system is outdated or corrupted, it doesn't matter what programs you try to run. Nothing works properly. Your financial operating system needs complete overhaul. And that starts with understanding the 7 deadly mistakes that keep people broke their entire lives. Mistake number 1. You're still trading time for money and thinking that's the only way. Look, I get it. You were raised to believe that you go to school, get a good job, work hard, and everything will work out. But that model is broken. It was broken for your parents, and it's definitely broken for you. When you trade time for money, you hit a ceiling. There are only so many hours in a day. There's only so much you can charge per hour. There's only so much energy you have. And when you're over 40, you're starting to feel that ceiling pressed down on you. You're tired. Your body doesn't bounce back like it used to. The idea of working even harder for the next 20 years sounds exhausting. And that's because it is. You need to transition from trading time for money to creating systems that generate money, whether you're working or not. That's the only path to financial freedom. Mistake number 2. You've been spending money to impress people you don't even like. Be honest. How much money have you wasted trying to look successful instead of actually becoming successful? The car you can't really afford, the clothes with the right labels, the vacations you put on credit cards, the dinners at restaurants that make you feel fancy for 2 hours but broke for 2 weeks. This is a trap that keeps millions of people poor. They're so busy trying to look rich that they never actually become rich. And here's the kicker. The people you're trying to impress, they don't care about you. They're not paying your bills. They're not funding your retirement. They're probably broke too, just better at hiding it. Stop performing wealth and start building it. Real wealthy people don't need to prove anything to anyone. They're too busy enjoying their actual wealth to care what strangers think about their car. Mistake number 3. You have no financial education, and you're too proud to admit it. This is a big one. Most people over 40 never learned about money. Their parents didn't teach them. School definitely didn't teach them. So they've been winging it their entire adult life, making financial decisions based on feelings, guesses, and whatever advice they got from people who are just as broke as they are. And instead of admitting they need to learn, instead of reading books, taking courses, finding mentors, they just keep doing the same things and hoping for different results. That's insanity. You cannot build wealth without financial education. Period. You need to understand how money works, how debt works, how investments work, how taxes work, how inflation works, how compound interest works. These aren't complicated concepts, but if you don't understand them, you're playing a game where everyone else knows the rules except you, and you're going to lose every single time. Mistake number 4. You're living above your means and calling it normal. Somewhere along the way, debt became normalized. Credit cards became a way of life. By now, pay later became a financial strategy. And before you knew it, you were drowning in payments. Car payments, credit card payments, student loan payments, personal loan payments. And every month, you're not building wealth. You're just trying to keep your head above water. Here's the truth. If you're spending more than you make, you're going backwards. It doesn't matter how good the reasons sound. It doesn't matter if everyone else is doing it. You're destroying your financial future. And at 40 plus, you don't have time to recover from decades of bad decisions. You need to get ruthlessly clear about the difference between needs and wants. You need to cut your lifestyle back to something you can actually afford. Not what you wish you could afford. Not what you think you deserve. What you can actually afford based on the money you actually have. Mistake number 5. You have no clear financial goals, so you're just drifting. Let me ask you something. If I gave you a map and told you to drive somewhere, but I didn't tell you where, would you ever get there? Of course not. Yet that's exactly how most people approach their finances. They have vague wishes. They want to be comfortable. They want to retire someday. They want to have enough. But they have no specific targets, no numbers, no deadlines, no plan. And because they have no plan, they make random financial decisions that lead nowhere. You need to get crystal clear about what you want. How much money do you need to retire? What age do you want to retire? How much do you need to save each month to hit that goal? How much debt do you need to eliminate? What's your net worth target for this year? Next year? 5 years from now? If you don't have specific answers to these questions, you're not serious about building wealth. You're just hoping something magically changes. And hope is not a strategy. Mistake number 6. You're waiting for the perfect moment instead of starting now. This is the killer. This is what keeps people broke forever. They're waiting until they make more money, waiting until they pay off debt, waiting until the kids are older, waiting until the economy gets better, waiting until they understand everything perfectly. And while they're waiting, years pass, decades pass, and they're still broke, still waiting. Listen to me carefully. There is no perfect moment. There's only now. If you wait until everything is perfect, you'll wait forever. You start with what you have. You start where you are. You start today. Even if you can only save $50 this month. Even if you can only pay an extra $20 on your debt. Even if you can only spend 30 minutes learning about investing. You start. Because small actions compound over time. And over time is exactly what you don't have. You're over 40. The clock is ticking. Stop waiting and start moving. Mistake number 7. You're surrounding yourself with broke people who keep you broke. Show me your 5 closest friends, and I'll show you your financial future. If everyone around you is broke, complains about money, has a victim mentality, and makes excuses for why they can't get ahead, then guess what? You're going to stay broke too. Not because you're a bad person, but because your environment shapes your thinking. Your thinking shapes your decisions, and your decisions shape your results. You need to be around people who are doing better than you financially. People who have what you want. People who think differently about money. People who challenge you to level up instead of making you feel comfortable staying where you are. This doesn't mean you abandon your old friends, but it does mean you need to be intentional about who you're learning from and who's influencing your financial decisions. Now let's talk about what's really holding you back. And this goes deeper than mistakes. This is about the story you've been telling yourself. The identity you've built around being broke. Because here's what happens. After years of financial struggle, you start to identify with it. You start to see yourself as someone who's just not good with money. Someone who's unlucky. Someone who always struggles. And that identity becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. Your brain looks for evidence to support the story you're telling yourself. So even when opportunities show up, you don't see them. Even when you make progress, you sabotage it. Because deep down, you don't believe you're the kind of person who can be wealthy. And until you change that story, until you change that identity, nothing else changes. So how do you change it? You start by making a decision. A real decision. Not a wish. Not a hope. A decision. You decide that your financial situation is going to change. You decide that you're done making excuses. You decide that you're going to do whatever it takes to build wealth. Even if it's uncomfortable, even if it's hard, even if people judge you for it. That decision is a turning point. Because once you truly decide, your brain shifts from looking for reasons why you can't to looking for ways that you can. You start seeing opportunities everywhere. You start taking action. You start building momentum. And momentum changes everything. But decision alone isn't enough. You need a plan. A real, specific, actionable plan. And that plan starts with 3 phases. Phase 1 is stop the bleeding. Phase 2 is build a foundation. Phase 3 is create wealth. Let's break each one down. Phase 1 is stop the bleeding. This means you need to immediately stop doing the things that are making you broke. No more unnecessary spending. No more credit card debt. No more living above your means. No more financial decisions based on emotion. You need to create a budget and actually stick to it. And I don't mean one of those budgets where you write down numbers and then completely ignore them. I mean a real budget where you track every single dollar, where you know exactly where your money is going, where you're making conscious decisions about your spending instead of just hoping there's money left at the end of the month. This phase is uncomfortable. You might have to cut things you enjoy. You might have to say no to things. You might have to make sacrifices that other people don't understand. But this is the price of change. This is what it takes to break free. And if you're not willing to be uncomfortable now, you're going to be uncomfortable for the rest of your life. Choose your heart. Phase 2 is build a foundation. Once you've stopped the bleeding, once you've got control of your spending, you need to build your financial foundation. This means 3 things. First, you need an emergency fund, at least $1,000 to start, but ideally 3 to 6 months of expenses. This is your buffer against life surprises. This is what keeps you from going back into debt every time something unexpected happens. Second, you need to eliminate high-interest debt. Credit cards, personal loans, anything charging you double-digit interest. This debt is a cancer on your financial health. It's eating you alive. You need to attack it with intensity. Cut expenses. Sell things you don't need. Take on extra work if you have to, but get it gone. And third, you need to start investing, even if it's small, even if it's just $50 or $100 a month. You need to start building wealth through investments, not get-rich-quick schemes, not crypto gambling, not your cousin's brilliant business idea. Real investments, index funds, retirement accounts, real estate if you got the capital, things that have proven track records of building wealth over time. Phase 3 is create wealth. This is where you shift from defense to offense. This is where you start thinking bigger. This is where you don't just save your way to wealth. You earn your way to wealth. Because here's the reality. You can't save your way to being rich. Savings are important. They're the foundation. But real wealth comes from increasing your income and investing that income wisely. So how do you increase your income at 40 plus? You have options. You can level up your skills and become more valuable in your current career. You can switch careers to something that pays more. You can start a side business. You can invest in cash flowing assets. You can create digital products. You can consult. You can teach what you know. The opportunities are endless, but they all require the same thing. They require you to provide value, to solve problems, to make people's lives better in some measurable way. And when you do that, money follows. Now, let's talk about mindset. Because everything I just told you won't matter if you don't fix your mindset. Your relationship with money is probably damaged. Most people's is. You might believe that money is evil, or that rich people are greedy, or that you're not smart enough to build wealth, or that it's too late for you. All of those beliefs are lies, and they're keeping you broke. Money is not evil. Money is a tool. It amplifies who you are. If you're a good person, having more money lets you do more good. Rich people aren't all greedy. Many wealthy people are incredibly generous and create massive value in the world. You are smart enough. Financial literacy can be learned, and it's definitely not too late. People have started building wealth at 50, 60, 70, and become millionaires before they died. Age is not the limiting factor. Your beliefs are. You need to develop what I call a wealth consciousness. This is a mindset where you see opportunities instead of obstacles, where you take responsibility instead of blaming circumstances, where you invest in yourself instead of making excuses, where you think long-term instead of seeking instant gratification, where you're comfortable being uncomfortable because you know growth happens outside your comfort zone. This mindset shift doesn't happen overnight. It's a daily practice. You need to feed your mind with the right content. Read books about money. Listen to podcasts. Watch videos like this one. Surround yourself with people who think differently. Challenge your limiting beliefs. Celebrate small wins. And keep moving forward even when it's hard. Let me give you some practical strategies you can implement starting today. First, automate your finances. Set up automatic transfers to savings and investment accounts. Pay yourself first before you pay anyone else. If the money never hits your checking account, you won't spend it. Second, increase your income streams. Don't rely on one source of income. That's risky. Find ways to create additional income. Side hustles, freelancing, passive income streams. The more streams you have, the more secure you are. Third, invest in your financial education continuously. Spend at least 30 minutes a day learning about money. That's 3.5 hours a week. Over a year, that's over 180 hours of financial education. That alone will transform your financial life. Fourth, track your net worth monthly. Your net worth is your assets minus your liabilities. It's the real measure of your financial health. Track it every month. Watch it grow. This keeps you focused on what matters. Fifth, surround yourself with successful people. Join communities. Attend events. Find mentors. Get around people who are where you want to be. Their mindset will rub off on you. 6. Take care of your health. This might seem unrelated, but it's not. Medical problems can destroy your finances, and you need energy and mental clarity to build wealth. Invest in your health now. 7. Be patient but persistent. Building wealth takes time. There's no shortcut. But if you're consistent, if you keep showing up, if you make smart decisions day after day, month after month, year after year, you will get there. The question is not if, the question is when. And the answer to when depends entirely on what you do starting right now. I want to share something with you that might change your perspective. There's a concept in investing called compound interest. Einstein allegedly called it the eighth wonder of the world. Here's how it works. When you invest money, you earn returns on that money. Then you earn returns on returns. And it compounds, grows exponentially, not linearly. The problem is, most people over 40 think they've missed out on compound interest. They think it's too late. But here's what they don't understand. While compound interest is more powerful over longer periods, it still works over shorter periods. If you're 45 and you start investing aggressively, you've still got 20 plus years until retirement. 20 years of compound growth is massive. 20 years of consistent investing can turn a broke 45-year-old into a comfortable 65-year-old retiree. But only if you start, only if you're consistent, only if you don't give up. Let me paint you two pictures. Picture 1. You keep doing what you're doing. You keep making excuses. You keep spending money you don't have on things you don't need. You keep avoiding the hard conversations about money. You keep putting off the changes you know you need to make. Fast forward 10 years. You're now 50 plus or 60 plus. And nothing has changed. You're still broke, still stressed, still worried, except now you're older, more tired, with fewer options, and the regret is crushing. Picture 2. You decide today that enough is enough. You face the brutal truth about your situation. You create a plan. You cut your expenses. You increase your income. You start investing. You educate yourself. You do the work. Fast forward 10 years. You're now 50 plus or 60 plus. But your life looks completely different. You got money in the bank, investments growing, debt eliminated, options, freedom, peace of mind. And instead of regret, you feel pride. Pride that you did something hard, that you changed your life, that you didn't give up. Which picture do you want to be living in 10 years from now? Because that's your choice. That's what this moment is about. Here's what I need you to understand. Nobody is coming to save you. Not the government, not your employer, not your family, not some lucky break. It's on you. And that might sound harsh, but it's also incredibly empowering. Because if it's on you, then you have control. You have power. You can change this. You don't need permission. You don't need perfect circumstances. You just need decision and action. And I know you have that in you because you're still watching this video. You haven't clicked away. You're here because some part of you knows that things need to change. Some part of you believes that a better life is possible. And that part is right. It is possible, but it requires you to step up, to be honest with yourself, to do things differently, to become a different person. Because if you want different results, you have to become someone different. Let me tell you about the concept of future self. Right now, your future self is depending on you. The 60-year-old you, the 70-year-old you, that version of you is hoping that the current you makes good decisions, makes smart choices, does the hard work, because the quality of their life depends entirely on what you do today. Will future you be grateful because current you is disciplined and wise? Or will future you be full of regret because current you is lazy and short-sighted? This is your legacy, not to the world, to yourself, and it starts today. I also want to address something that might be weighing on you, the shame, the embarrassment, the feeling that you should be further along by now. Let me tell you something. Let it go. Shame doesn't serve you. It doesn't motivate you. It just paralyzes you. Yes, you made mistakes. Yes, you could have done things differently. So what? You can't change the past. You can only change what you do from this moment forward. So stop beating yourself up and start building yourself up. Forgive yourself for not knowing what you didn't know, and commit to doing better now that you do know. That's all you can do, and that's all you need to do. Now I want to give you your marching orders. Here's what you're going to do after you finish watching this video. First, you're going to sit down and calculate your net worth. All your assets minus all your debts. You need to know exactly where you stand. Second, you're going to create a bare bones budget. List all your income. List all your necessary expenses. See what's left. That's your wealth building money. Third, you're going to make one immediate change. Cut one subscription. Sell one thing you don't need. Cancel one unnecessary expense. Start somewhere. Fourth, you're going to commit to learning. Buy one book about money. Find one podcast. Watch one educational video a day. Start building your financial knowledge. Fifth, you're going to find one way to increase your income, one side hustle, one skill to learn, one opportunity to pursue. Don't overthink it. Just pick one and start. And most importantly, you're going to make a commitment. You're going to commit that 1 year from today, your financial situation will be measurably better. Not perfect, not solved, but better. Progress, not perfection. And you're going to review that commitment every single day. You're going to remind yourself why you're doing this, why you're sacrificing, why you're working hard, why you're saying no to things. Because your why is what will keep you going when things get tough. And they will get tough. There will be setbacks. There will be moments when you want to quit, when you want to go back to your old ways. And in those moments, your why will carry you through. Let me share a final thought with you. Success leaves clues. Every person who has built wealth from nothing, who has turned their financial life around, who has gone from broke to financially free, they all did certain things. They all developed certain habits. They all adopted certain mindsets. And those things are not secrets. They're not hidden. They're available to anyone who wants to learn them, which means you can do this too. You have everything you need. You have access to information. You have the ability to learn. You have time if you start now. The only question is, will you? Will you decide that your financial future matters enough to do something about it? Will you push through discomfort? Will you stay committed when it's hard? Will you become the person you need to be to have the life you want to live? I hope so, because you deserve better than where you are. You deserve financial peace. You deserve options. You deserve freedom, but you have to be willing to do what it takes to get there. So here's my challenge to you. Don't just watch this video and move on with your day. Don't let this be another piece of content that you consume and forget. Let this be the moment, the turning point, the day you decided enough was enough, the day you stopped making excuses and started making progress. Take action today. Right now, do one thing, just one thing, and then tomorrow, do one more thing, and the day after that, one more thing. Build momentum. String together days of good decisions. Let those days become weeks. Let those weeks become months. And watch as your financial life transforms. You can do this. I believe in you. Now you need to believe in yourself. Your future self is counting on you. Don't let them down. If this video gave you the wake-up call you needed, if it resonated with you, if you're ready to make a change, then do me a favor. Share this video with someone who needs to hear it. Someone who's struggling. Someone who's making excuses. Someone who needs a push. You might change their life. And make sure you subscribe to this channel because I'm going to keep bringing you content that challenges you, educates you, and helps you build the financial future you deserve. Drop a comment below and let me know what action you're going to take today. What's your first step? I want to hear from you. And remember, it's not too late. It's never too late. As long as you're breathing, you have a chance to change your story. So stop waiting. Stop wishing. Stop hoping. Start doing. Your financial freedom is waiting for you. Now go get it.